All right, let's dish out some of our other favorite picks that we like for the championship games. We're each going to give out 3 bonus bets. My first bonus bet, I really like Pat Bryant over 15.5 receiving yards. Very low total. He has hit 9 of the last 10 games on this total. 15.5 receiving yards. Pat Bryant's been a really underrated player in this offense. And look, I get it. We just sat here, crapped all over Jared Stidham. I was iffy on dishing this one out because of this. I kept thinking to myself, you know what? Well, is there this possibility that Stidham's so bad that Pat Bryant can't get going whatsoever? And he's just, nobody can make any big plays in this game. We just need one reception from Pat Bryant. We just need one 16-plus yard reception from him, or 2 catches, and he ends up hitting this. The fact that he has trended and has hit 9 of the last 10 games over this total makes me feel pretty good. I think Stidham is going to need to get creative with different targets than just going to Cortland Sutton. He'll need to rely on somebody else.
I hate it.
Why?
Because I don't have the courage to take something like this. I don't have the courage to select a Broncos receiving option in this game. I just don't. My first pick, that is Kenneth Walker over 19.5 rush attempts in this game versus Los Angeles. He had 19 last week, and the other, the leech, the vulture, the touchdown vulture, Zach Charbonnet, that also takes rushing attempts from Kenneth, is out with a torn ACL. So they're going to have to lean on the big dog. Seattle is going to try to be physical in this game. If they get a lead, they're going to run the ball with Kenneth Walker. If it is a close game, they're going to run the ball with Kenneth Walker. The only way they don't run the ball with Kenneth Walker is if the Rams jump out to a 17-0 lead, and then that bet is cooked. That is the one situation where it doesn't happen. Either the other two, I think, are more likely to transpire, where it's Kenneth Walker, it's late January. We have to run the ball to get the offense going. It is a better offense when Walker is involved. 3 touchdowns last week. He had a great game. He's got the hot hand, hot legs. I think they roll with Kenneth.
I think that makes plenty of sense. I also like the rush attempt bets often more than the rush yardage or total yardage if there is recent evidence to suggest that it could possibly hit. The fact that they leaned on him so much last week, I think, is really solid to prove that they're going to want to get him the football. They've wanted to get him the ball often. Him getting 20 carries seems totally plausible. Who's third on their depth chart?
Yeah,
I don't know enough about the Seahawks depth chart to even know who they would turn to.
Oh, let's see here. The running back room, as per the ESPN depth chart. Running back 1, Kenneth Walker. Second, George Halani, IR designation. Third, Zach Charbonnet, out designation. Fourth, Kenny McIntosh, IR designation. So who the hell? Per the IR depth chart, or per the ESPN depth chart, he's the only running back that they have in this game.
Our lads is usually a little bit more reliable.
They'll probably hand it off to
Velus Jones.
Oh, yeah, Velus Jones. Yeah. Okay, look, if we're Seattle and we are handing the ball off to Velus Jones more than 4 times in this game, fire the coach. If you're handing it off to frickin' Rashid Shaheed 6 times and keeping it out of Kenneth Walker's hand, fire the coach. It's a fireable offense to not give Kenneth Walker every single carry in this game.
Velus Jones is going to get 20 carries in this game.
What is wrong with you?
Watch that happen.
They
suddenly
should sell the team if that happened.
The hot hand ends up taking over.
That would be a gambling investigation the next day. The very next day, anybody that took an over rush attempt from either of those dudes is investigated. And I'm starting it. I'm calling the troops. Get in on them.
All right, I'm taking my next bet. I really like Matthew Stafford over 1.5 passing touchdowns. He's 13 of his last 15 for that total, 9 of his last 10 for that total. And before the game in the frigid temperatures against the Bears, he had 12 straight games where he went over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think because he didn't hit that total last week, it lowers that number for us and maybe lowers the expectation going up against this Seahawks team. They're going to need him to ball out. They're going to need a big performance from him. It feels pretty solid for him to get 2 touchdowns.
Look, it's smart enough. It's fine with me. It's Matt Stafford in a great year for him in the playoffs. Like, am I getting caught up in what he did in a dome in October? Maybe. But it's Matt Stafford. And if they want to go to the Super Bowl, you're right. He does have to have a good game. He does have to be able to throw a touchdown or two. So I like it. Could he throw one to Kyren, please? And then we all win and we're all happy because I have Kyren Williams anytime touchdown plus 115. I was so happy last week. Took that first touchdown of the game. I was thrilled. I said, of course, I'm so smart. I'm a genius. Everyone else around me is so stupid because they didn't know that Kyren Williams gets in the end zone all the time. It's what he does. And the Rams are not a dumb team either. They say, hey, if we're within the 7-yard line, let's hand it off to our running back because that's what historically smart teams do, and they're going to do it. Kyren Williams getting in for a touchdown. I love it. He could do it receiving-wise, and then we all win, and we're all happy. You don't have to sit here and poo-poo my bet. You really don't have to. I'm sure you will, but you don't have to. We could all win on this one.
Well, I'm a big fan of Kyren. I think it's been proven that Kyren is somebody who it's almost like a pitcher that you save for the postseason. Mm-hmm. You know that he's good. You know that he's reliable during the regular season, but boom, we're going to feed him. We're going to give him the ball as much as possible, especially in red zone situations, because he's always going to hold on to it. Yep. He's not going to make any mistakes, and he's going to fight to get into the end zone.
Great underdog story also. Just tremendous.
Shut up. Shut up.
What are you talking about?
Shut up. I know you stop doing this bit. Stop doing this bit.
What bit?
I hate that you do this bit with Kyren, who's like one of my favorite players in the NFL. Because he went to Notre Dame.
It's a great underdog story. He came out of Notre Dame. And he came out of nowhere. It's awesome for him. I'm rooting for him. I'm a huge fan of Kyren Williams.
You're a bad person. I think my favorite bet of the weekend, Jarrett Stidham under 19.5 completions. I bet this one so freaking quickly when I found it and I discovered it. This could be 12. And I would bet the under on completions. Again, here, forget everything that I talked about here with when we previewed the Broncos Patriots game and why I don't think he's a very good quarterback. Look at what just happened with CJ Stroud. I understand that CJ Stroud has struggled. He hasn't been great recently, but he's still a good starting caliber NFL quarterback. He's not a backup. He's not a chud backup like Jarrett Stidham. Stidham is going into an absolute fire pit. It is a gauntlet that he is going to be facing here against this Patriots defense. They get pressure. They force turnovers. They wreak havoc. Him completing more than 19 passes will not happen. Most importantly, this offense, it's not going to be if anyone wants to make the counter argument of, well, if they want to stay in the game, they're going to need a big game out of them. They're not going to be in the game. They're not going to be in the game. This is going to be, it feels like a 28-3 type of a game. It'll be in and out. Thanks for showing up. This was boring.
What were those numbers for?
What do you?
The hell were those numbers for?
Sorry.
What was that for? There's so many numbers to choose from. What the hell, dude? Yeah, I like it. Jarrett Stidham, betting on his downfall in this one is a smart play. Betting on him just to be average Jarrett Stidham, that's under 20 completions. Like, that's what it is. That's what we're looking at with him. Staying in this one, under 42.5 is my final bet for the weekend between Denver and New England. You're on it. Even if it is 28-3, that hits the under. If the Patriots score 35 points and the Broncos score 1 touchdown, that's the under. Denver, it's very possible they don't eclipse New England's, I'm not going to say 50 because that's a bit hyperbolic. It's very possible they don't eclipse New England's 30-yard line in this game. I'm very confident in that. Then it's a field goal fest, and you're outside, and it's January. And it's Colorado. Good luck. It's a mess what they have to do with on offense. And New England, they can just score. We'll do a touchdown a quarter. We'll just churn and grind you out. They don't have to be spectacular. They don't have to blow the doors off. They're not going to score 44 points by themselves. They're not going to break the over by themselves. The under is the only play in this game. You're going to be looking at it in the first quarter. It's going to be 3-0. And then you're going to be looking at it in the second quarter. It's going to be 10-0. You're like, wow, I guess that under was a pretty good play. And then the under is going to be set at, guess what? 30 points. Get it now. I like this 42.5.
The other thing, too, that comes with this, forget the circumstance of what you just talked about here, where it's this dominant big victory for the Patriots. If the Broncos keep this close, there is no shot. I know we're digging into Jarrett Stidham here. There is just no shot this becomes a shootout. If this game is close, it is going to be a low-scoring defensive battle. It is going to be the Broncos defense rebounding after last week. And I know that when we did that specific preview, we talked a bit about how they looked shaky against the Bills. Their run defense wasn't very good. If they rebound and they play a lot better and they do force Drake May to turn the ball over and they do get sacks and pressures like they've done all year long, even if that comes to fruition, it means the game will be super, super low scoring. There is just no world that the Broncos explode and put up a ton of points. It does not make any sense. If Jarrett Stidham does that, it'll be one of the greatest stories in NFL history.
Yeah.
Not even forget playoff history, Broncos history, NFL history. Coming off of a cold bench after the starter went down with a season-ending injury to step in, light up a box score against one of the best defenses in the NFL, a team that completely embarrassed the last quarterback that they saw. I don't think people understand how improbable that is.
It'd be a miracle. It would be a football miracle for that to happen. And then if that happens, guess what? We're just on the other side of the fence of a miracle. And then you can't get mad at it. Like, you can be angry, but in the grand scheme of things, you're like, we're just witnessing something that would never happen again, ever, ever, ever. So what are you going to do? Like, what do you do when that happens? You take it on the chin like a man. But the smart play is the under. The smart play is New England. Just get all over it. Just be smart this weekend. Be smart.
In the chat, by the way, Stack of Fritz said RJ Harvey 12 plus carries. I'm trying to find what his rushing attempt total is. I can't find it. I don't know if it is set at 12 or not, but if it's hovering around 12, that is a number that I would absolutely grab. I feel like
why don't they have it? Yeah, I'm with you here.
Are you not seeing it on FanDuel either?
I'm not seeing it either.
I can't stand
probably because the processing, they can't process 33 carries expected for RJ Harvey, so they have to. They're still working through the code because they've never had to make a rushing prop so high before.
Just trying to really quickly see if I could end up finding this. It has got to be. I'm going on Betting Pros to see if RJ Harvey. 12.5 rushing attempts. Yeah. So we're on point there. It's a good bet. I really like that. He hasn't hit that trend much recently. In the last 5, he's 3 of 5. In the last 10, he's 6 of 10. He's hit it enough. Plus 102 odds is pretty good too. He's hit it enough that I'd feel strong about it. But the specific circumstance here is they're going to need to run the ball. They're going to want to run the rock. And also, most importantly, I like that more than his rushing total. Because last week we saw Woody Marks get completely shut down at the line of scrimmage. They couldn't get anything going on the ground. So they might have to just keep ramming their head against the brick wall. So that's a good shout there. That's a good shout.
Yeah, I like it. They throw the ball to him a lot. And if you're going to go with his yards,
total touches,
it would have to be I'd go total touches or I'd go rush plus receiving yards.
I'm not seeing do you see total touches? His rushing receiving yards total is 61.5. I hate that.
That's nasty.
I don't like that. That's way too high. Well, knowing how much Woody Marks, and I hit the under when I took the under last week, knowing how much he struggled, I do not feel comfortable taking that.
They shut his ass down. And Denver got their run game shut down last week. So that's a mess, man.
That's a good shot, though. I like that shot.
But what are you going to do? You're going to take a Jaleel bet? You're going to take a Jaleel McLaughlin prop?
I wonder if I can find a Jaleel. I wonder if there's some good value.
Look. Once Slobbins went out, once J.K. Dobbins went out,
what are you doing?
It's unnecessary. I don't know. R.J. Harvey was supposed to be the big bell cow guy. I'm waiting for him to become an actual, menacing running back that you cannot let get into space. And maybe it's just not his rookie year. I don't know. Maybe that the kid continues to develop. It's not happening versus New England. At least the big, explosive 110 yards, 2-touchdown game. I still like the 12 carries, though. I really like that prop.
Yeah, that's actually, I think I'm going to take that after we finish this show. Good shout from Stack of Fritz 96.